It is a great honor to introduce a man who dedicates his every waking hour to standing up for working people and the middle class. Ladies and gentlemen, the next President of the United States of America, U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders!
Thank you. You know, we have had large turnouts in Wisconsin, in Colorado. This is the largest turnout. Thank you. Are we content to seeing a proliferation of millionaires and billionaires when we have the highest rate of childhood poverty of any major country on earth? It is a moral issue, but it is an economic issue as well, because our economy cannot do well when so few have so much and so many have so little. Now, when we talk about the crises facing our country, when pollsters ask people, what's on your mind? What do you think is most important? What people invariably say is jobs. We need more jobs. Well, in my view, when we have over 30% youth unemployment, 10.5% unemployment in general, when our infrastructure, our roads, bridges, water systems, rail are crumbling, we can and should put millions of people back to work rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure. I have introduced legislation that would put $1 trillion into our roads and bridges, which would create up to 13 million jobs. And that is exactly what we have to do. It is not acceptable to me, and I know to you, that an African-American baby, a male baby born today, if we do not change things, stands a 1 in 4 chance of being in prison during his life. In America today, we have more people in jail than any other country on earth. That's right. And one of the reasons, aside from a broken criminal justice system, one of the reasons that we have so many people in jail is that we have 5.5 million kids hanging out on street corners with no jobs and no education. And it seems to me to make a lot more sense to invest in education and jobs for our kids rather than in jail and incarceration. I want our country to have the best educated people, more people going to college than any other country, not more people in jail than any other country. Jeb Bush thinks the American people need to work a little bit harder. Well, he obviously didn't hear the sad reality that the American people already work the longest hours of any major country on earth. Our people do not need to work longer hours. They need higher wages and better income. We have got to raise the minimum wage to a living wage, $15 an hour. All over this country, we have working people who, when they get sick, they go to work. and they go to work because they have no guaranteed sick time. It's time to end that and provide guaranteed paid sick time for every worker in America. I have introduced legislation and will fight for as president to make every public college and university in America tuition free. Today, the United States of America is the only major country on earth that does not guarantee health care to all people as a right. And together, you and I are going to end that embarrassment, because we are going to pass a Medicare for all single-payer program. In my view, if a financial institution is too big to fail, it is too big to exist. And that is why I have introduced legislation to break these huge financial institutions up. We must lead the world in an extremely aggressive way in breaking our dependence on fossil fuels, in moving to wind, solar, geothermal, and other sustainable energies. We have got to understand that today in America, there are 11 million people living in the shadows. People who are afraid that they could be deported tomorrow. That is wrong. We need comprehensive immigration reform. We need a path towards citizenship for undocumented people. We need not to be dividing families. We need to be uniting families and keeping them together. That as a result of the disastrous Supreme Court decision in the Citizens United case, the American political system has been totally corrupted, and the foundations of American democracy are being undermined. When one family spends more money than either of the two major political parties, that is not democracy, that is oligarchy. And that is why we have got to overturn Citizens United. And why we need public funding of elections. I see a lot of young people here today. And I want our young people to be able to run for office if they want to, and not have to beg money from the rich and the powerful to do that. Ask your Republican friends why they vote for folks who want tax breaks for billionaires, and yet they want to cut Social Security and Medicare. Ask them why they're voting for people who are going to throw them out onto the street, shut down their factories, and move their plants abroad. So what we need to do is to create a political movement which brings our people together.